Welcome back to the Long Way Back podcast. I'm your host, Timmy Long, and today we have Tommy. Hi, Tom.
Hi, lads.
So today we've Ricky O'Donovan. Ricky is a friend of both myself and Tommy's, and John Paul, who's here as well. And Ricky's going to share a story around drug addiction, crime, and he's also going to share his story of recovery and how recovery has been for him in the last few years and what you've learned about yourself. So we're going to hand it straight off to you, Ricky. Bye. How's it going?
Thanks, Timmy, and thanks, Tommy.
Welcome back.
Like this,
I'm a bit nervous now, but I'm all right with that.
that's completely normal, Ricky. Everybody's nervous. I get nervous at the start as well. I lose my breath a little bit even. So I kind of have to force myself to talk. So you're in company anyway. And I remember Tommy was here the first time.
I thought I was going to faint about 5 times.
I remember Tommy was here. I was like, Tommy couldn't literally, like, his mouth, he got cotton mouth. His mouth went dry. I made sure I filled your glass anyway.
I was there, Ricky Land. I was like, I'm gone. I thought I was going to faint. You'll be fine, bye.
But you know what, Ricky? Just for the people that are listening, just let them know how it was for you growing up, what school was like, your family dynamics, you know, brothers, sisters and stuff. So we just start off what you can remember how it was for you growing up.
You know, I grew up in a family home of 4 of us, you know, in Knocknaheeny. And you know, I kind of grew up and as a child, and I kind of seen a lot of things that a child shouldn't have seen.
Yeah.
You know, and I felt different, you know, ever since as long as I can remember, you know, even in school, you know, and I got diagnosed with ADHD, you know, and like even in school, I always had someone.
Were you young when you were diagnosed with ADHD?
I was 7 years old.
7.
And that's where I started. So when I even got told that, I didn't kind of really know what actually ADHD was. I just know I was different to the rest of them, you know, in school. And I used to have a minder next to me, you know, because my reading and writing is not very good. And like I can remember, like out in the air and people, when I grew up, I want to be this and be that. What do you want to be when you grow up? A jarhead, I used to tell them. So no, there was a lot of that when I grown up. And
I can relate to that. He can, I'm sure.
I would never done it, and I say, and I want to do it, you know. Like I used to get a buzz off kicking the football at the wall. I used to get a buzz at lighting fires.
No.
And I used to love it.
He used to get a love off fucking robbing houses.
I used to love it. You know? Yeah. I used to be gone all day. And my mum used to be out. Like at that time we had no phone. Yeah. And my mum used to look for the smoke and I used to be at the end of the fire. Oh, man.
Like the Indians back in the day.
And you know, I was happy times, you know.
I
was different, you know. I loved doing it. Even I didn't love doing it at the end where the places that it brought me. But as a child, I was wild, and I used to like it being destructive, I suppose. You know, I used to like that life, you know. But for my mother, you know, I was a handful, and she was drowned. You know, around 4 of us on our own.
4 boys then?
No, 3 boys and a girl.
Okay.
So I can imagine, you know, what way it is. It was tough times back then, you know, and me alone. I was a fucking handful, you know. And
I can relate to you there, you know, and in short, Tommy can as well. Because I growing up for me, I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere. I felt like I was adopted. I actually felt like I was adopted, even though I was the puck off him and my father. But I felt like I didn't fit in anywhere, you know. And I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD as a young child, but I was later on in life. Like I remember going around the place, constantly cutting myself, falling, breaking, walking into stuff. It was just that clumsiness around ADHD. Oh, I was running everywhere. You know, I couldn't relax. I can completely relate to that, and it's a tough place to be as a young child, isn't it?
It was tough. It wasn't tough for me, but it was tough for my mother. Like, and that's where I kind of started. I knew I was on a kind of a bad road, but just, don't know, because no one else was doing it, and there's probably only a handful of people doing it, you know, and getting thrown out of school at that age, you know. Started bringing the girls to the door 7 years of age, you know. And that's when it started escalating, you know. I believe that I was in the gecko before I ever picked up a substance, and I was telling myself, you know, as the years, I won't do this, I won't do that. But, you know, everything that I said I won't, it was always, you know, I did. You know, I picked up petrol, you know. I started sniffing petrol at 11 years of age. My cousin and mine used to bring me up the fields, you know, on motorbikes and things like that, you know. They kind of give my mum a break and tried to keep me out of trouble, you know, because that's what everyone used to be doing back then, you know, up the field and the motorbikes and it was always older crowd. And I seen an older crowd trying it one day, and I done it. Boom.
That was it.
That was it.
Took off.
This is what I wanted.
Yeah, it took you completely out of your head.
Took me out of my whole self, you know. Made me feel fit. I fitted in, you know. I thought it was a normal thing to do because I grew up watching it, and all older people, and I thought that was the life, and you know, getting in and out of rob cars, you know, at that age, and before I knew it, you know, I got sent away.
You know, for a lot of people who listen to that, they mightn't be able to relate to that kind of upbringing, that kind of community or that environment growing up. But we can here because of the community we grew up in. No, they were the people up there are the best people you get. But like the young fellas around the place had to find something to keep them occupied by. And if you're someone that isn't able to get an education because you've learning differences, like dyslexia, dyspraxia, or ADHD, like the next best thing for the likes of us is out there driving around bikes or robbing cars, you know, or antisocial behaviour or robbing. And I used to get a kick off that even before I touched any drugs. Do you know what I mean? You know, and like at the age of 11, was the petrol, was that the gateway into everything else you did at that age? How did it kind of escalate?
I started that, and then there was ecstasy back then, and glue, and so it was like everyone was doing it. It was all right to do it. For us to do it, not for our parents and things, but for us to do it, it was okay.
It was normal. Like.
It was normal.
Like, you know,
yeah, it was completely
exactly
normal. Anyone that didn't do it, they weren't. Like, you know, if you were with your buddies now, and there was one fella that didn't sniff the glue out of the 5 of you, you'd be saying, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Do you get me? Because it was just so normalised, that behaviour in the little cliques that we were in, you know?
So I kind of knew there was something wrong. Like I couldn't see the wrong in it. And at that age, I was going to all of these special doctors in the hospital, and like I say, ma'am, why are you bringing me these? And she was always trying to tell me, but it would never register on my head. So no, it was over in the South Infirmary across the way from my old school. I used to be in, you know, seeing the were foreign doctors,
psychiatrists and
and
stuff.
like they were trying to talk to me, but they weren't talking to me. They were talking to my mother because I didn't understand.
Okay.
And she probably didn't want to say, Ricky, this is why you're completely, but she didn't want to, you know. She knew I was doing the wrong, and I used to be calling myself then names, and she said, no, you're just doing silly things, Ricky, you know.
Yeah, that's it. Do you know what? Your mother has a great understanding of it. Do you know what? It sounded like she gave it, like she was coping with watching you and your behaviours, but the way she managed it by the sounds, from what you're telling us, she managed it really.
I don't know how she done it.
I don't know, that was tough, like.
Very tough, you know, and I went long after that, and I got actually sent away, you know.
What age were you then, Ricky?
I was 13.
And you were sent away to...
I was in Overstown. I got sent to Overstown for 2 years. And every week, but twice a week up to see me, like.
Jesus, boy, that's powerful. My mother's love.
Like my other brother was in a different... He was actually in an older prison, because he's a couple of years older, and like it was normal when I got out. I done a mad thing, and I thought it was the life. All the fellas coming up to me, like, and so I enjoyed it. I can remember crying now on the phone. I never again coming back here, man. This is my last time. And I get out, it'd be only a couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks, and I'll be back in, doing the same thing. And famous words, I won't be back. And it's a revolving door, and it just escalated quick. I was just running. I can remember when I was running away. I was actually ran away from home. Bilby think we did. I don't know, we were 10 or 11, and we went and got our stuff by onto the stick boys. We went down the rocks when we were gone hours, and this is gas, and we was starving, and we ended up eating a bird.
A bird?
A bird. A pigeon. Oh, man, we drowned them and everything. Oh, kid, it was fucking gas, but it wasn't nice, like. But
did you cook him or something?
Yeah, a little like campfire, when the two boys that done it, they actually after passing away.
Two fellas left you with?
Yeah, and it wasn't nice, but.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, the pigeon.
Up with sharp stone, taking off the feathers and everything. And that just came to my head,
Yeah.
Like, because I'm running most of my life, but that's, we thought that was gone a couple of hours, but it was a long time. Them couple of hours at that time, and we're long.
Actually run away ourselves if you.
I did, yeah.
Fucking hell. And at the board, but we drowned him, but we hung him off trees. Oh, man.
That's mad.
That's mad, kid.
When you said you were down the rocks, I was thinking that you were going to catch
only
a few frogs or something
only
like
down
that.
the thing at the board, but.
And what age were you then, Ricky?
We were 10 or 11.
Like that's young age. Like, I was 12, 13. He's 13 today, Jay. Like, and I can relate to your story, the whole lot of it, and so on, Tommy and John Paul and Tony, I'm sure. But like for a lot of people who may have kids that age, like they won't understand it.
No, like I have nephews that age, a nephew that age, and I was often saying, like, when I was that age, like, they're into their phones, they might come out of their own and things. It's different. It is today. And I was saying, like, I used to be doing this, that, and like I can never picture me, little boy, young and frail, and
You had to be tough growing up. When we were growing up.
I have to.
Talking to the mic,
It was tough. We had to be tough growing up. Do you know what I mean? And like you said there, Ricky, with the kids have phones today. It was normal for us to see people jumping in and out of rob cars, and that was our entertainment. Looking at horses, robbing horses, robbing cars, all that kind of stuff. The madness, lighting fields on fires, lighting ditches on fires, all that. That was like our choice.
Playing with the muck, the iPhones, all this kind of stuff. And we were out playing with the muck and the little tractor. Man, I used to get everything what I wanted, kid. And I was a cunt.
We were out for kids.
Language,
you're alright, but you're alright. You can fucking say what you need to say.
I had a tough little, It was different compared to thing.
You were just kind of.
I was a distrustful little
different, different. Just kind of like back then. I suppose we didn't know as much as we do now around the different things that go on for children. Around there's ADHD, there's autism, there's all the different learning differences. But today we have a lot more understanding of it and how we can help a child, and help them to manage a little bit more. But like growing up in your time, in my time, our parents, God help us, they hadn't a clue. They were just coping with their own stuff based on their own lives and their upbringings, and then trying to deal with the likes of us who were fucking wild and mad, and who we didn't understand that we were causing damage to our parents. We hadn't a clue. We were just trying to escape whatever was going on for us. I couldn't sit still for 2 minutes. Do you know what I mean? And it was just like, let's bring it back a small bit, Ricky. Do you know what age did you start taking ecstasy and stuff from? 12, 30, yeah. Yeah, that's about the right old time. What age you know, Ricky?
32.
32.
And
You've been around a while.
I mean, you know.
Do you know? Would
I
you say you're
actually
lucky
think
to
I'm
be
old.
alive?
Very lucky. Very lucky. To be honest, I probably wouldn't be still alive today only for the Irish Prison Service.
They'd revolving door back in and out, just like respite.
You know, I was, you know, get myself back together and
Do you know, I have a
things.
question for you, right? Do you know, when you look back at your life and look at all the mad shit that you've done, you know, and if I look back at my life and I look at the different times where my life could have been ended, like with the click of a finger, through crashes in cars, overdoses, fights, and I swear to fuck, I'm on about dozens and dozens of times. And when I look
Totally
at that,
relate
I'm
to
saying
it.
to myself, I actually get so much gratitude when I look back, and it also allows me to believe that there's a purpose, not for just me, but if you look back in yours, do you now believe that there's more for you in life than what you always believed about yourself? Do you know,
I think
because
that's
you're
something-
what you have to survive in, like.
it's actually, they say miracles don't happen, but you know, for that lifestyle and where the drugs bring me in the end, I don't know how I'm still there. My mental health was completely gone. I was talking to myself. That's where it kind of bring me, you know, in the end. And it was completely, they say in the lecture on NA, jails, institutions and that. I believe I was to all three of them. Because I was dead inside from the drugs. I had no feeling. I had no emotion. I didn't care about no one. Only me. To do what I have to do to support my habit. And like things got worse and worse. I never do this. I never hurt this one. One more last time. There's no such thing. For me is one last time. That's why I'm sober today. And I had to hang up my boots and say, Ricky, it's now or never. You get one chance at this. Well, I didn't see a way out of it for a long time. I thought I'd never do it. And so when it clicked for me, saying, Ricky, it's no. Give it
Do
your
you know?
all.
Do you know in your teens? Do you know? See, after getting out of Overstone after being locked up for a few years and there, like, was it just in and out in prison then for the next few years, Ricky? Drugs.
It was like that till I was 28, 29. Every few months, I used to get longer than 6 months out.
Yeah. And that's why prison saved your life.
Yeah, and like they used to ring my mum to come form the address. My mum says, put a plan in place for him. Or he see Cork Lions once a week, or this and that. Well, I'm telling you now, my son, you're going to see him before 6 months' time. Because she knew me better than anyone.
Yeah.
He's going back. There's no ifs or buts about it, you're going to see him back. If we do make it back. You know, because she was waiting for that phone call.
Yeah. Like every parent that has somebody out there on
from to die. So my mum used to be happy that I did used to get locked up. Not happy that
Oh, we
my
understand.
son was taken away.
Yeah.
But
Happy that she knew where
I'm
you were.
safe.
Yeah.
Because as much as she tried at the younger age, when I was in the juvenile places and I used to get out for the weekend, my mum used to take me home. I get them all now,
That's
because
cool, but do you know when you said, before you go into this, remember you said there a while ago, you were numb. You're not numb anymore, kid.
No, then that's what this is after giving me.
And
It's
you're
after
powerful.
giving myself back. It's after giving me the feelings that you hear. Oh, the feelings are good. My bollocks, they're not good at all. It's not good being vulnerable. But it's okay. I'm okay with it.
Bye.
You know, I was numb for so long, and to have these, you know, it's different. You know, they're not nice sometimes. But I'm happy. I'm a grateful boy that I did make it, you know, and getting the chance to even do this.
We're delighted to have you here.
You know, and I got offered a couple of them and I refused them. And I said, you know what? Give the message, Ricky, the same way you heard other people speaking, and to what help you. You know, and this was working for me. doing my daily business, and I don't get up in the morning, I don't hurt no one, I don't rob, I don't lie. You know, I'm not perfect.
Awful, isn't it?
I don't get everything right. Sometimes I might say things that I don't want to say and don't think to come out, but I can say sorry and actually mean it. You know, that's what this is after giving me, you know, my life back, my family, no worries, you know, going out the door.
Do you know when you say your life back, right? When I actually believe I never really had a life until I actually stopped drinking and drugging. Because I was so disconnected, and by the sounds of it, I can see something similar here with yourself. You know, when I never actually had any awareness around life about who I was or anything. So I actually only started to live when I put down a drink and a drug. You know, I started to feel all these different things coming up for me and starting to live and to become a father, to become a partner, to become a friend, you know, to become an employee, you know, become an employer. You know, all these things I never really even knew. I couldn't even look in the mirror, Ricky. I never looked in the mirror in my life. You know, when I looked in the mirror inside in the prison after fucking getting sober, I was looking there. I fucking hated myself. I thought I was the worst human being on the planet. And I never actually had a life from as young, from the moment I can remember back. I don't think I ever had a life. And I'm living now, and I feel so blessed.
I only shared this at a meeting the other day. I believe I only developed myself when I put down the drugs. Developed means like I'm a different person, but I'm not a different person. I'm the same person, but just having no drugs, and I don't hurt no one. So by me getting clean, my thinking, my mindset, like I'm a million miles away from it. But I likes to hear the story as well, because that's what it brings me back to. Ricky, this is the way your life is going to go. If you take your eye off the ball for any split second, you know, and don't mind yourself and become vulnerable, like, this is where it's going to go for you. So I likes to remember myself and bring myself back. You know, like, this is where it's going to go for you. So, yeah, but it's unbelievable. But
So I'm just going to bring you back a small, Ricky. So for the whole of your 20s, you stopped using at the age of 28, 29. So
30.
30 you stopped. Actually, I was like 31, I was 31 as well. Tommy, what were you? Thanks be to God, we all get it in some stage in our 30s.
35
You know,
I was back.
but for that whole period of time, you know, in and out of prison, I'm sure there was hospitals as well in different occasions. You know, how did you actually feel, Ricky? Like, you know, the way people say you have to hit the rock bottom. Like, I could have hit my rock bottom a million fucking times before I actually got it in the end. Like, what was the different scenarios that would have happened in your life where you said, this is the last time? And then it kind of, the cycle keeps happening.
See,
You know?
that cycle kept happening because it was just like normal to me since I'm a young boy, because I never actually got the chance to stay out long. But I didn't deserve a chance. You know, but at the time, oh, give me one more chance. But I didn't deserve a chance. I done everything. I have to pay for it, and so it was just like it was normal to me. Get out, go home to my mother, have a cup of tea with her, and gone out the door.
And you'd be as healthy as a bull then coming out. You'd be fit.
Oh, I pictured this car.
You'd be fit. You're eating your fucking 3 meals a day. You're sleeping well. No, most of the time drug free. I'm presuming. You know, in the prisons, like Cork prison used to be fucking bone dry most of the time. You'd never get drugs there. And fellas used to come out of the prison and they'd be like new men. They'd have a smile. They wouldn't be white or yellow as they were going in. You know, they'd be strong. You know, they'd have nice clothes on them. You know, so every single time you're coming in and your mum's at home waiting for you, like, and you're coming out, like, and she's seeing
After
you.
promising all the moon and stars, all the lies, just to make her feel okay, knowing deep down
You're going
that
back
that's
up.
not the case. You know, because I wasn't my rock bottom. I wasn't ready. That's why I kept doing what I done. Because I wasn't ready. So know how many people I was at treatment centres at a younger age, and I was doing them for the wrong reasons, but to keep the family happy. And that was it. It wasn't actually for me. I was lying to myself. And I was saying, Ricky, don't want to be on the drugs, but you still want to do everything else. And I done it for a while, and all them behaviours, the robbing and all the lying, still all addiction things, but just not the drugs.
Lonely place, isn't it? You know,
Very lonely.
lonely place.
You're on about rock bottoms. Yeah, my rock bottom was actually with Ricky.
Yeah.
Like me and Ricky done a lot of using together. You know, we were homeless together.
For a long time.
We were in squats together. We were in sheds together.
Bags of rubbish to keep us warm. Oh
So-
God, a load of candles.
Yeah, and we were in a hostel together.
Is are you the fella next to him in the video?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky was in that hostel as well, and my rock bottom was in that house in the old Good Shepherds.
Remember it well.
Around Christmas, the two of us were in there. We were upstairs, and there was other people living downstairs. You know, and then
How does it feel, Tommy, to be thinking back like that?
you know, it's just like it's. I'm getting gratitude speaking here with Ricky there. You know, doing so well, and for where the two of us were. Do you know what I mean? In the squats, in sheds, in hostels. You know, pushed everyone that loved us away. You know,
I don't think everybody that loved you.
not that we pushed them away.
No, I-
be around us
yeah.
because they were
Like,
fucking
mad.
gone too far. You know?
yeah.
And that was mine for me. Ricky was in there around Christmas. You know.
It's cold time of the year as well.
Like, I can remember. You know, I was still at it, and Tommy was actually clean, and he was saying, "Ricky, do you go to meetings and things?" Yeah. Even on the phone to him, I can remember on the phone to him, my brother, you know, and I was talking to him. Do you go to meetings? And I go, yeah, no, on deep down. I still wanted more. I was still ready for more. You know,
What was the end like for you?
like I was homeless and all that, but that was just like
Part of the norm, like, as well.
bare normal. Like I picked drugs before my family, my children. You know, I can remember I was actually in a tent, and my mother used to park in the car across the way all night long. You know,
Just to keep an eye on you.
and I over inside. Like I didn't know none of this till I actually got clean. And she goes, I used to be watching it all night.
It's tough, but it's tough knowing how someone actually loves you so much.
I
Like,
used to be down. She used to be bringing me down changes of clothes and come home. I loved heroin too much.
yeah.
I just wanted that. It was the only thing that gave me the confidence to look in the mirror. Any feeling. I loved everything it done for me till it fucking stopped working in the end.
And what was it doing for you, Ricky? What was?
It made me get. It was the only thing that I wanted to get out of bed for. I just loved the stone. It gave me that feeling.
What's the stone? How does it feel like? I never took heroin. I took everything else.
It's nice, but it's not where it brings it.
Yeah.
And the places and the things that it bring you, you know. I was a desperate drug addict, you know. Going through dirty bins, using dirty needles on a Sunday to get that feeling into me, to make me feel well. I'm not sick. Well, I was alive, but it was killing me slowly. And You know, till in the end that I just wanted, Ricky, want to die and don't want to live no more. You know, that's the places that it bring me, but I kept doing it, knowing it was the wrong thing, and I was powerless over it. You know, I did like what it did for me at the start, but not the feeling that it made me, the way I looked. I looked like Brown Thomas on the outside, but I was broken and pennies on the inside. I was completely broken, mentally and physically, not well. And that's the places that it bring me. And I was robbing and doing everything, hurting people that I didn't want to do it, but I was so caught up in it. The addiction had too much of a grasp over me, that this drug, and I would have done anything, you know. And sometimes I think back, Ricky, you know, I beats myself up over the things that it made me do, because I'm not happy, and I can't dwell in it, what I actually did and the places that it bring me. But if I had my way back, and I would have never done it, but you know, I feel guilty. I'm ashamed of some things that I done.
And every recovering addict or alcoholic feels the same way at the start. You know, I did. And today, I'm a good few years down the road, and I've just learned that the things that I have done are not the same things I'm doing today. The person I was back
100%.
then is not the person I am today. You know, and you know, the more good things that you keep doing, not just for yourself but for other people, every single time you get that nice feeling when you do something nice, it gets stronger. The nice feeling internally gets stronger than the actual negative feeling about yourself, or the bad feeling, the shame, the guilt and the fear. Today, for me, all that stuff is there. There's thoughts around it still, but the emotional connection, the energy, you know, the really dirty feeling that takes over you when you think about it, that's not there anymore. Because I'm a good person today. You know, I had to, it's time, Ricky. It's time, over time, you start feeling. And I had to learn to stop fighting the emotions, stop judging the emotions, stop being critical of myself. I just learned to put away the whip. Every fucking time I whip myself to that, I give myself some hard time. Today I don't. Today I don't do it anymore. And that comes in recovery. And there's no rush, there's no fast way to that. All you can do is just keep getting in touch with the right thing inside you. What's right inside you. And you know what's right inside you. He does, I do, John Paul does, Tony does. We all know what's good for us and what's the right thing to do. It's about making the voice that tells us to do the right thing more prevalent and stronger than the voice telling us we're bad and do the other thing. And always go with your gut. See that thing in here? You know, if it's telling you nah, this is wrong, listen to it. Because I tell you fucking one thing 99.9 times it's right. And if something tells me to do something, I'll do it. You know, not the head. It's not coming from the head. It's coming from here. This is wrong. No, you have to stop this. And that comes in recovery in time. Early recovery is the toughest, because you're getting to know your emotions. You're getting to know what emotions are. I didn't have a fucking clue what emotions were before. I hadn't a clue, and I'm sure you didn't. None of us here really did.
Well, what are these?
You know
That's
what I
what
mean?
you were thinking, mate.
It's about going with it nice and slowly and talking about, like we're talking about stuff here. You know, a while ago you got emotional.
I was just gonna, you know, when I was getting emotional, I was saying, the emotions won't kill you, Ricky, the drugs will.
Fucking right now.
That's what I was.
And you know
I
what?
was actually saying to myself. I was saying, these won't kill you, Ricky.
But you know
Your
what?
drug use will
Do you
take it.
Do you know
kill
what?
you.
Do you know what the emotions coming out to the surface like that will do for you? They'll heal you.
Make it 10 times
Make it
stronger.
They'll
stronger.
heal you. Like I used to bottle that stuff. Do you think I would have sat here fucking 5 or 6 years ago and started crying in front of a load of fellas? Me bollocks.
I know.
My macho ego.
Big hard up.
Yeah, my ego. I'd be bottled. But internally I wanted to cry. Do you think I'd stop me now? No. No. Not at all.
That's why I just leave them out. You know,
Yeah,
be vulnerable.
know
I have to
yourself.
get vulnerable. So you know, I am who I am. These are coming out. You know, because I touches off things that I don't want to go back and things, and it hurts me. You know, and I'm full of guilt and ashamed. But I'm not that person anymore. I'm a way better person. Then, you know, I'm me. I'm being me. You know, I actually can say I love people. I can care about people. I'm not hurting them. No way.
Start loving yourself. That was one of the
I
toughest
don't
things
love
for me.
myself. You know, I loves the camera.
Yeah.
Before I used to hide from it, but
Yeah.
I can actually go on the camera now and smile.
That's when my life started to change. Is when I started looking in the mirror, even though I was looking at something I didn't like it. I started to tell myself I love myself. I didn't believe it at the start. I thought I was being fake by just even doing it. But I just kept doing it, and I stared, even though there was a voice in my head saying, "What the fuck are you doing? You're this, you're that, the other." And I kept standing there, and I was feeling the uncomfortableness even looking in the mirror, and this voice telling me I'm this and that and the other. And I'd feel through that. And you know what happened one day? I got a bit of fucking pity for myself. But the pity wasn't for me, I thought it was for my inner child. That young person that was struggling at 7, 8 years of age going around the place. Do you know who was misunderstood? Not by your mother. Your mother sounds like she knew you from day one. She knew how to, but from other people, the school, the guards, people in the community. You know, I go back there and I'd say, "Do you know what, fucking hell, that fucking, what a fucking hero, boy." I look back at my young self and I say, "Jesus Christ, you're the strongest fucking human being I know on this planet." And that's my mother's soul.
Yeah.
I go back and he's my hero. I don't know how the fuck I got by through it, how he got through it, the stuff he had to put up with. Do you know what I mean? And love him. And when you start giving him love, trust me, pal, it just takes off from there. That love starts to flow through you because you're the same person. That small Ricky is the same Ricky that was in his teens, that was in his active addiction, and that's there now. You're conscious today, you weren't conscious before. When you're unconscious, you do actions, you do all these different fucking things. But when you're conscious like you're today, you're full of emotions, and when you're thinking of the shit you've done, you're full of shame and fear and guilt. Do you know? But you have to love that fucker that fucked up as well. Just as much as you love the fella that was 7, was 10, and the fella that's 32 sitting in front of you now. And that's where the work is. All that stuff takes time. It takes time. It took me a good few years, Ricky, to understand this stuff because I'm not academic. I can't read this stuff from a book or sit down. I haven't got the attention. I have to do it from the inside out. You know? And it's about fucking stop the fight by allow the stuff there, talking about it, finding someone that you trust to talk about that stuff there. I found myself a great counsellor. He works with us now on the podcast.
Yeah.
And he fucking took me through the whole process, boy. And I took myself through the process and I walked away. I just thought it was important for me to just mention that stuff, you know, and give you an explanation because where you are now felt like I was there as well in my early recovery. And I felt an opportunity just to kind of explain how it was for me and how I got through it for you. And if you're ever stuck with any of that stuff, any stage you have my number, ring me and I'll help you anytime. Anytime at all. Do you know? Because I know how to process that stuff. It takes time. And it takes a lot of sitting with yourself.
As the longer I went on, I slowed down. You know, like the longer I'm clean, I'll actually have more awareness, and I'm saying like, okay, this is what it's about. This is what life is actually about. You know, and all of these, like today I wanted to come on here with a shorts and t-shirt, and I'm saying, Ricky, come out of your comfortable image again, going back to image. Go on, come out of your comfort zone and go on with the jeans, no? I wanted the image beside the thing, and I said, you know what? I'm not going with that thought, because that's where I am today, because I don't go with the thoughts that come into my head, even though that was probably a little thing. But if I went with all my thoughts, that comes into my head sometimes, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be the person that I actually am. You know, because the head can be very, very mad. You know, it can wants you back and wants you back. It brings the mind.
Doesn't want you to feel, Ricky.
Like it brings it all the times that you actually enjoyed yourself. But what about all the bad things? Is that overweighs the good times? There was no good times. Maybe when you were younger and you enjoyed it, but it wasn't like that for me in the end. Like it was different, you know. Different times. I progressed, got worse and worse and worse, and there was kind of no worse for me in the end. I was after kind of doing everything. But there's always worse, and that's where so obsessing was in. I had to. It was no, you know, and I'm delighted I actually, my rock bottom came into play.
How go through it?
And rock bottom for me is, and I don't like talking about this rock bottom, you know, but I'm delighted that it actually happened, you know. It's when my daughter died. I don't know, it would have been the second one for me, but I was so caught up in it. Back then, I couldn't see a way out. But this one, I was actually only after getting out. And we were out in the hospital. And my partner was out there and we had the stillborn and me and Sarah and the child was after passing away and we had a stillborn and the child was going away to the grave and I didn't know where to hang around. And in that hour, my mum couldn't pick me up. She was waiting for the hour to pick me up. And I said, you know what? I go over into the shopping centre. And I got caught robbing. You know, I had drugs, but I wasn't enough drugs. I'm a greedy bastard. I want more and more and more. And I got caught robbing. And they were hailing me for the thing, and I plagued them till I said, please, give me one last chance. Give me this chance. My daughter's on the way out to the grave, and there was 7 of them there, and no hailing me for the guards. And there was actually me and Sarah was there, and one fella goes, do you know what? Leave him go, and leave the guards go after him. And that, you know, it didn't register to be there. And, you know, it was over waiting at the bus stop for my mum, and I was a holy disgrace, you know. Sarah was dry shaving me at the side of the road. Even though I know I was broken, but I wanted to kind of look a bit well. Well, I thought I was going to look a bit well. And that, it wasn't long after that. And I got sent away again. And at this time, over the crack again, my mind was gone, you know. It was after bringing me to myself. I wasn't myself, you know. I was actually talking to myself in the mirror, you know, up in the prison. And I went that went around for a while. I was genuinely thought my cellmate was my mother. And this was going on.
Psychosis, was it?
And Joe psychosis.
For how long?
This was going on for 2-3 months, easy.
Coming down off the crack.
My mind was completely gone. I was gone. And I was fully convinced this was my mother. Calling my mother out in the yard and everything.
Fuck.
And when I finally was starting to come around to myself, they came on to me and the officers came on and goes, you can get out, you know, address up to the scheme, and said you can get out. Oh, I don't want to get out. You can be out Monday. And I was after kind of coming around to my senses, you know. But which I didn't think, I was fully convinced I was going to be like this. I genuinely thought,
You're like this forever.
I'm going to be like this forever. And I refused to get out. I said, no, what was I getting back out for? You know, back to be homeless. You know, I want help. I mean, I was after coming around, and that's what rock bottom was for me. It's when that happened and I got caught, it was enough. That was breaking point for me.
Powerful, man.
And you know, she was actually in prison, and we were writing letters, we do it. And I said, will you give it a go? And to be honest, I kind of wanted to kind of use what I didn't want to use. And I said, you know what? She was going to be still in prison. I said, you know what? I have one more. And then when I was getting out, I said, I can't. And Tommy picked me up, came up to me that night, himself and Alan. I was still on my methadone.
I remember that night.
And I was fully convinced, I thought I was clean, because I was off the heroin and the crack and all that. It was working for me. I thought I was clean. And I kept going. I went to penny dinners, and I kept going. I collected my tags even though I fully convinced I thought I was clean. And I said, Ricky, go to treatment now. And I heard the message inside there. And I said I go to treatment, and I told my family I'm going to treatment. I genuinely thought, when these words came out of my mouth and I was going to, I genuinely thought they were going to have a party. I thought there was going to be balloons and all of this when I said that, because they were saying it to me, yeah, Ricky, what, you need help? No, I'm grand. And I done it. And when I was in treatment, this is powerful, you know. My mother, was meant to get married for 5 times. And I used to keep getting sent away. And I was actually at the wedding.
Fuck off.
I remember I was up in Coalmine in Dublin, and you had to be there 6 weeks before you actually can get out, you know. And I was only going to be there for 4 weeks. And I can remember they came up to visit me, and I said, Ma'am, I don't think I'm going to be at the wedding. It was all arranged, everything. And she looked at John and she goes, John, I don't think we'll get married.
Fuck.
And they gave me the chance, you know, and I was down there. So, and I was only actually a week off the methadone, and I was still sick, and just to be able to be there, kid. I knew it was enough, because I used to love to drink as well. I used to love to drink. And to see that smile on my man's face, boys.
Finally got married after.
No, 5 times. It was all booked, whatever, you know. And she wouldn't get married because I wasn't there.
Jesus Christ, boy, she's a powerful woman, Ricky, boy, and telling you, you have a fucking good lad. You know, I believe all mothers are, there's no such thing as a mother's love. Our own mother there, we broke her fucking heart for years and years and years. You know, and it's one of the toughest things that 3 of us have to think about, you know, the way my mother passed. But she had her own stuff going on for her too. You know, but it's on, you know, when I hear you talking about your mum, it's such a lovely thing, you know, even though I had my own mother as well. You know, maybe it's just, I would have loved that. I would have loved to have somebody to take care of me like the way she has. I don't
fucking know how this woman put up with me, when still loving me no matter what, kid, and still, all she wanted was the best for me. But by her, it was, Ricky, you know, bringing me places, dropping me to meetings and this and that. But I didn't want to work on myself, you know. Going back first time, she tried everything, but it was pointless her trying, because I didn't want to do it myself. I might have been saying, yeah, ma'am, I do it, and I wasn't ready, and that's what brought me to my knees in the end, and I done it, you know. It was actually my first time giving it a go.
Surrendering.
How long did you stay there for?
And meeting Ricky, no, you have a problem. But you know what? I was up there I was actually there for 4.5 months. And I asked them, can I start the program again? They were the managers. I called run to the office one day. So I had to go out. No. I says, I want to start my program again. She's kind of looking at me stupid like that. I said, what do you mean? I want a full 6 months left in treatment. Go through all the start of it and thing. She goes, I'm here 30 years. And I never heard any. I'm telling you, I'm not ready. I was only kind of grasping it, and my behaviours were still off the wall. And she goes, no. And I ended up getting thrown out of treatment for fighting. That's all behaviours again. The fella was trying to bully me, and I ended up hitting him. And when I was going out the door the next morning, they handed me the naloxone kit into my hand for heroin overdoses. I said,
Jesus Christ.
I says, what do you want that for? I said, what do you give me that for? Just take it. He said, I'm not going back using it at all. There was a part of me wanted to go back, telling me go back, or then it was trying to trick me. So if anything happened, Ricky, you have this. No, I was stubborn. It's Ricky, give it your all. And no one didn't think I'd do it. I didn't think I was going to do it myself. When I was bringing it down to the day, Ricky, just get through the day and get through, because it wasn't fucking easy for me.
Tell me how important communication with other people was for you when you got out. Even the connection with Alan, Tommy, the boys in Penny Dinners, just going to meetings in general. How important is that to someone going back into their community after being in treatment or in prison?
I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't be on the journey I am today if him and Alan didn't bring me up. Million miles. So I had good sport at home with that meeting, something about it. I used to go to meetings before to get in out of the cold and drink cups of tea or went for a goof. Didn't care what was being said. I was in the solution, but my mind wasn't. And this time it clicked for me. And I kept going and kept going. 90 meetings in 90 days. I done that. Fuck. I was sick to death of them. Oh man. My whole life was meetings. To be honest, I thought it was the biggest load of bollocks you'll ever in your life. Been clean, kid. And for months and months and months. And I kept hearing it. Keep coming back, Ricky. Keep coming back. Keep coming back. And I did. And that's where I am today, you know. And when my partner got out of prison, it was like I had to drag her to meetings. It was like I was looking after my recovery and looking after hers. And no, Sarah's dragging me to them at times. She knows when I need them. I used to use it for that. And you know, something clicked, you know, and it's working.
It's whatever works.
Like people, I tell you, junkies, you won't do it. Then people are asking us today, how are you clean? What did you do to get clean? How was after changing? Because we were bad. We knew we were bad. And there's any inspiration. And I kept coming up and kept showing.
You actually help a lot of people today in recovery, Ricky. You bring a lot of people to meetings and show them the way of recovery, don't you?
That's the same way I got shown.
But I think the reality of it is Tommy is just his actual existence, as in like how bad he was, and people that he used with are looking at him now, and it's like leading by example, leading by example, and people just seeing it that if you can do it, I can do it, he can do it, she can do it, they can do it. You know, it's like there's no such thing as a hopeless case. You know, there's no such thing as a hopeless case.
That's why I love hopeless, when they say hopeless, because I was once hopeless. I thought I would never do it.
I think we all were.
You know, it was the same cycle, and you know.
I remember a fella was locked up, and he heard I was 18 months clean. And he says, no way, no, I don't believe it. I know Tommy Long, I used with Tommy Long, and and this and that. And he actually got to a note in prison, and he done his living best to get my number, and he actually got my number in the end, and he rang me. He says, Tommy Long, is it true you're 18 months girl? I says, I am. But he says, well, if you can get it, anyone can get it, he says.
I probably
he
know
says,
this.
when I get out of here, I'll be going with you, he said. And this is about 4 years clean to
Do you see the strength in that?
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Like the attraction of it.
People
That was the word I was looking for. A program of attraction. Do you know, for example, now when I got sober and clean, I felt so fucking lonely on that journey. It was like I everybody from my life before was still active. It's like I'd no one. So I had to go out and start getting people that were the same as me. And that was a difficult thing for me at the time because I knew nothing. I was coming straight from prison. I wasn't going to meetings on the outside or nothing. I was going into a community where I was looked upon as someone else. Do you know when you come when you come out of prison, Ricky, you're going back into the environment you spent fucking 20 fucking years and 15, 20 years and they all look at you as in Ricky this, Ricky that, Ricky that. You know, same as it was for me, Timmy this, Timmy, you know, and it's like you're going back out and people expect you to be a certain way, but you know that way is not going to work for you anymore and you're going a different way. But also at the same time, it's very hard for you to show your vulnerability and allow yourself to be, soft.
Yeah.
Because when you go
I
up
often
in
thought that by Western meetings, if you have to go on pure soft, like not fighting with no one, no anything. But I thought it was, but it's a change. But
you have to change
you
like
have
that.
to change one thing, everything.
I remember when Timmy got clean there, and Timmy, you're clean now 12 years ago, I remember people saying to me, oh, Timmy's a born-again Christian, is he? You know? Back then, people didn't know much about recovery. Like.
No.
So if you were doing well and you're away and drinking drugs, people think you're born-again Christian or something like that, you know?
It was tough now at the start.
Oh, it's like it was a thorn on my show.
Do you know what
I thought these was cravings and things was never pass. I mean, I struggled for a long time. I didn't know how I got through it, but I was surrounded with the right people. There was no negative, all doing the right thing. Didn't want nothing from you, just to see you doing well. Like what pay people drugs to sleep on their chair, none of that. Want nothing from you. So I found it strange when I went in first. I was just the hugs. What do these actually want from you? Nothing. They just wanted to do them well and
We
get through
always
the
think
day.
there's an ulterior motive. Do you know when someone gives, do you know, and I said this to somebody the other day, and I might have said this a few times before, but you know when people were being nice to me when I was in recovery, they'd take me for a cup of tea or they'd give me an hour of their time. I felt that I had to give them something back, and I was offering my services as a carpenter for nothing. I swear to God.
Totally relate to it.
Like
I
you're waiting
wasn't
for the catch.
I wasn't used to it. I didn't. I
See,
wasn't used
that's
to
all we
people
were
being
used
nice
to.
me. But then they'd say like, "Timmy, fuck off! I don't want nothing to you." But I says like, "I have to pay you for your time." I wasn't used to it, and you know, by seeing that, you know, my thinking around people was they're all bad. Okay, they all want something for you. They all want to hurt you somewhere because of my upbringing, because of different things that happened to me, and I internalised that kind of way, that kind of mentality, that. So, when I looked at somebody giving me something, then I didn't really realise that there was good people out there. I thought we all thought like me, negative, you're this, you're that, and the other, and fuck them, don't trust them. They're all out for something. Do you know what I mean? But you know when I changed, you know when I got sober and clean and everything else and started changing my behaviours and people were being good to me, I actually started to understand that, you know what? People are actually good. Maybe people were behaving badly to me because of my actions on them and my behaviours towards them and the way I acted and the way I was behaving in the community, and all that started to change. I never knew any of this stuff. I just thought, fuck it, they all want something for you. You know, I went, but it's amazing how how much we can grow. You know, when we actually get a bit of awareness around things that don't service us anymore, do you know, the behaviours, the robbing, do you know, the cursing, the violence, the fighting, fellas, do you know, road rage was a fucking big one for me. Do you know, still can be like, I just have to keep my mouth closed and put my finger up to my
Bite the
mouth,
tongue.
you know, and plant my feet in the van while I'm driving out of the car. Do you know? But tell me this, Ricky. Tell me how your life is now. How is your life now since, like, we were talking earlier, you have your first job? Like,
My first job, I actually have a relationship, a proper relationship with my family, with my Sarah, with my children. So there's not enough hours in the day for me. I'm telling you now, there's not enough days in the week for me. I'm living that much of a good life. It's not Lamborghinis and fucking Ferraris. It's not the wildest dreams, but I'm living by peace. Putting my head to sleep at night time, knowing I got through another tough day. So, because some days can be tougher. So when I buried my child a couple of months ago, I was actually clean. And I didn't know how the two of us were going to actually get through it. Because we were sober, we had nothing to block it out. We just wanted to run. And kid, I was like worrying about her. She was worrying about me. We just built that incredible bond. Different. Actually a bond, not drugs. And my life, boy, is a million miles away that I used to be. My thinking, my feeling, actually working honest money. You know, I'm a father. You know, mightn't be the best father in the world, but I'm way back to that I used to be. You know, I wasn't there for years, locked up from when they were born. I'm actually there. I'm present. I can talk to them. You know, I can actually care about them. I can tell them I love them. That's what I say. Because I never heard my dad telling me he loved me. And I can tell them I love them. It means so much to me, you know, to even having that. And to get my life, to get sober and be actually there from at a young age, you know, they might know a bit of it, you know, that I was locked up and things. But I'm not that person anymore. The way I am today, the feeling, the gratitude that I have. I didn't think I'd get through what I did in the last couple of months, but I'm here. No matter what, Ricky, you don't have to use, and that's the ways you have to bring in me. I got the tools, I show up to the meetings, because it's like what it is for me. If you leave meat out of the fridge, right, for a couple of days, what's going to happen? It's going to go off. That's me when I don't go to meetings. My hind is to try to trick me into all things, so I surround, I picks up the phone. I am who I am. I'm doing what I love doing. I can't really explain in words what way my life is, because I'm living that much of a good life. And I'm feeling good. Honest working, well, you know. Never had a job till I got clean.
there's no comparison, is there?
Fucking,
You know, sleeping in squats and being on the streets and fucking tents and
oh, boy, this is...
using drugs
I
that
can
could take
go
it.
home and
Yeah.
put my head down in a nice warm bed and wake up in the morning.
And being able to live and being able to cope with what's going on for you internally in your head and in your body without having to pick up a fucking drug or a drink to block
You
it
know
up.
what? I'm actually delighted that I was in so much pain over the years that I actually got through it sober. Like a lot of people, Ricky, how did you get through that? Because I have friends, proper friends, that show me the way, helping one another, texting one another. I don't have hundreds of friends, but I have the right amount of friends that you can actually call friends, strong members that I text on a daily basis and just be me.
Come on, boy.
So,
Tell her why you're like a new man.
I feel like
away.
it, kid.
I'm just locked in on you, boy.
Like, but sometimes my head will tell me, Ricky, like, I don't crave. I'm actually so happy that I don't crave drugs no more. Sometimes, now the madness will come in, Ricky. Easy on money. But what do I want to bring that? around you. That's why I don't. My head will tell me those faster money, this and that. I can't deal with it. I don't think it's not in me. That's why I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and helping people. People are helping me.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
You know, it'll bring you back then in a heartbeat, like.
You know, and my life is good, but you know, I can't explain because I'm bad for these big words and try to put into the thing.
I completely
And I probably go away. I should have said this, though. I should have said that.
No,
No,
as we
but
said
what was
before,
meant to come out, I came out.
yeah, what was supposed to be flowing out, it'll flow.
I'm so happy I got clean because I didn't think. I thought I was going to die.
Mm.
I wanted to die.
I actually remember before you got clean, I met you on the bridge and you started wrong crying you give me a hug and started wrong crying and says, I want what you have, Tommy. You know, and I used to, and it's there for you. I said, it's there for you. You just need to dig deep, Brian.
Like, it don't be handed.
We know.
And within months, you what? You know?
Like, I'm getting stronger. I'm learning more. Every day is a learning day for me. You know what I mean? And I'm right by the sport around me. Right? I'd even dare somebody getting this free opportunity to go on this, to share. Like I was saying, I could go on about fucking drinking drugs in prisons from 1 month to Sundays. But there's not learning. Like, you have to live in that life. That's the way I'm telling myself. There's no learning in it for me.
Do you see, when you bring that stuff up, okay, you know, all them stories, it brings into a different emotional place. And when you're in that place, it's more ego-based than heart-based. And the information that will come out of your mouth won't be what's supposed to come out of your mouth. So where you've been there for the last hour and a bit, is speaking in flow, speaking from experience, speaking from your heart. There wasn't one moment during this whole interview, conversation, that I felt any egotistic, anything coming in at any moment. And that's the difference. When it's coming from the right place, it'll flow. Like, I can spot someone's ego coming out a fucking mile away. Do you know? Like, I can spot my own ego when it's talking through his fucking arsehole too. You know what I mean? And when that happens, I pull myself back.
Ground yourself.
My little dad turned around to me the other day to me, you need to shut the fuck up and stop talking too much.
I'm hearing that the whole time.
She says, during the podcast, I said, okay. And I've made an attempt to kind of, but sometimes I do kind of get carried away in some conversations because I'm like you, I don't have the vocabulary to go straight to it. I kind of go around the side and try to get my point the long way. You know?
Long way back, sure.
There you go. But Ricky boy, it's been an absolute fucking pleasure, boy. It's been it's unreal having you here.
Powerful podcast, Ricky.
It's powerful for you to have me here.
Stop.
Thanks.
Like, I've seen
Tommy, you know, my journey started from you, you know. It started from Sarah planting the seed in my head. And from my mum actually wanting me there, you know. John, my brother, you know. People buy places and things. People might say, what are you on about? Don't be around anything negative and change our ways. And this will happen. The same way we're all here, clean and sober. You don't need drink or drugs to have a laugh. You know? I'm looking forward to be dancing with Lola Red Bull in the convention there around a couple of weeks. They're the things I like doing. So, learning, seeing other people just like us. Clean and sober. I still have the mad heads now and still mad as a box of frogs. But I don't know wrong. What's wrong in
Be
it?
able to go out to the dance floor with nothing in you and dance. And
People be saying, you're definitely using because you're out there. You don't need it. You know? I don't need till I got the tools and treatment. That all changed and I kept going to meetings what I do. That's why I have the mindset that I have today. It's we'll be no different than any people that's want to be watching this. We used to be just like them. You can be like it.
Ricky, you've strength beyond what you actually understand about yourself, and I'm going to tell you that straight out. You have resilience and strength within you. You don't even know it. You do, like, you know, and what you're after going through in recovery alone is after making you stronger and stronger. You know, and always remember this about yourself. For you to heal and for you to move away from all the fucking pain and shame and fear and guilt, you have to move in. You have to love every fucking area of your life. And you have to process with that part of your life, the process with the child, the process with the teenager, the adult in addiction. But you, like when I say adult in addiction, we still have the mentality of a child.
100%.
You have to process with him. You have to go back to him with the knowledge you have now and tell him, "Lad, Jesus Christ, it's okay." And put your arms around him and love him. That's how we grow. Because if we're in conflict with our old self, we're never going to grow. And that conflict will get worse and worse and worse. It's like arguing with a fucking neighbour that drives you mad over a fence up against your wall. And she doesn't like the back of it. And you have the nice flush side of it. But she's on your case. If you start arguing back with her, it'll turn into conflict. That'll fucking get worse and worse and worse until something bad happens. And that usually is fucking depression or relapse. So it's about really just making fucking friends with yourself and loving yourself. Look in that fucking mirror for as long as you need to in the morning until you walk away from that mirror and on, do you know what? I fucking love that bastard. Do you know what I mean? You know? Get that picture of your young self, your teenage self, and this fella that was fucked in addiction and love him. The minute you start doing that, boy, your life will change. All that fear and shame and guilt, boy, will have no place in your life. It takes time. It takes time and it takes balls to go back into this place as well. To go back to that place of vulnerability. Do you know, and process with him and love him and tell him it's okay, boy, do you know what? It's okay. You actually didn't know any fucking better. Go back to that child and tell him it's okay and love him. Tell him you're here for him. And we'll get through it together. The same with the teenager. That was going to Hubberstown. You know, I didn't have a fucking clue what was going on on the way up in the bus full of fear.
Oh, God.
Do you know? Do you know what I mean? That's trauma, like. You know, fucking Ricky, boy, thanks so much, boy, for coming on to share your story, and I mean that. And thank you, Tommy, boy, for being
Thanks,
part
Tommy.
of it.
Thanks to me.
So, listen, thank you so much to everybody who's after listening, and I hope you've gotten something from Ricky's story. And if anybody has anything to say or anything, you can contact us on the social medias, and you can contact Ricky on his social medias. We're at
Small dude, no, head up. Not a joke.
what's your social media platform, Rick? Have you got one? If someone wants to get a bit of advice off you around anything,
Ricky O'Donovan on Facebook.
yeah.
Small dude 810 on TikTok.
Yeah.
And Snapchat.
Okay. And that's small dude 810 on Snapchat and TikTok, and Ricky O'Donovan on Facebook. So if anybody wants to contact him that may be going through any of the similar struggles and you think Ricky could give you a bit of direction, and I'm sure he could, or Tommy, contact us on the Long Way Back podcast, Instagram, Facebook, or email. And listen, again, thanks for listening, and thanks to Tony for producing. John Paul is in the audience today. It's always great to have him here. And to Ricky again, and Tommy, God bless.
Powerful, man.
See you all later. Bye-bye.
Thanks, mate.